Something just happened in the NFL that no one saw coming. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team, just traded away the best player they've had in over 2 decades. Micah Parsons, the heart and soul of their defense, the guy who once said he was a Cowboy for life, is gone. And where did he go? To the Green Bay Packers. The shockwaves from this trade are already shaking the league. Cowboys fans are furious. Packers fans are ecstatic. And everyone else is left wondering, was this the biggest mistake in Cowboys history, or a bold move to save the franchise? Micah Parsons wasn't just any player. He was the identity of Dallas defense, a 2-time All-Pro, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and a generational pass rusher who single-handedly struck fear into quarterbacks across the NFL. He was more than a star. He was the star, and he embraced that role, proudly wearing the star on his helmet like the legends before him. DeMarcus Ware, Charles Haley, Randy White. He made plays that didn't even make sense. He talked like a leader, acted like a leader, and even when the team crumbled around him, Parsons was the one thing Cowboys fans could believe in. He said it himself on camera with a smile, "I'm a for-lifer, man." And yet, here we are. The Cowboys shipped Parsons to the Packers in exchange for 2 first-round picks in 2026 and 2027, plus veteran run-stopper Kenny Clark. On top of that, Green Bay immediately handed Parsons a 4-year, $188 million contract with $136 million guaranteed, making him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history at $47 million a year. Let that sink in. The Cowboys didn't just trade their best player, they sent him to a Super Bowl contender. And in return, 2 picks that will likely land in the 20s, because Green Bay just became one of the best teams in football. For Cowboy Nation, it feels like déjà vu. The Herschel Walker trade, the Khalil Mack trade, the Jalen Ramsey deal. Moves that changed franchises forever, for better or worse. So why did this happen? Why would Dallas willingly get rid of their best player since the turn of the century? The answer is ugly. It all comes down to the salary cap. The Cowboys had painted themselves into a financial corner. Dak Prescott at $60 million a year, CeeDee Lamb at $34 million, and now Micah Parsons demanding $47 million. Do the math. That's 52% of the Cowboys' entire salary cap tied up in just 3 players. For context, no Super Bowl champion in NFL history has ever had even close to that. The record was Steve Young in 1994, eating up just 13% of San Francisco's cap. Dallas was about to double that with 3 players. With that kind of imbalance, the Cowboys couldn't build depth. They couldn't fix their run defense. They couldn't protect Dak. They couldn't add the missing pieces that separate playoff pretenders from Super Bowl winners. Jerry Jones had a choice: pay Parsons and guarantee years of cap hell, or trade him now and reset. He chose the latter. But that's not the whole story, because this wasn't just about money, this was also about drama. Parsons had his own podcast. He wasn't shy about calling out teammates, including Dak Prescott. Clips surfaced of him prioritizing podcasting over fixing the Cowboys' struggling run defense. Malik Hooker openly questioned his focus. Even Dak wasn't happy. And then there was Jerry Jones, the man who loves the spotlight more than winning. The same man who once fired Jimmy Johnson after 2 straight Super Bowl titles just to prove a point. This became an ego war. Jerry versus Micah. And just like history has shown us, Jerry's pride always wins out. Meanwhile, the Packers couldn't believe their luck. Jordan Love is still on a rookie-friendly contract. The Packers' defense already ranked top 10 in sacks. Now, they add Parsons alongside Rashan Gary and Quay Walker. Lucas Van Ness, a first-round pick just last year, is suddenly a rotational linebacker. That's how loaded Green Bay's defense just became. Vegas immediately shifted their odds. The Packers went from plus 2,200 to 300 to win the Super Bowl. Overnight, they became favorites in the NFC North. Their championship window, once cracked open, just blew wide open. Dallas? Their odds plummeted to plus 6,000, their worst since 2014. Vegas projects them at just 6.5 wins, the lowest since 2002. And the fans? They've turned on Jerry Jones. Eagles fans literally roasted him to his face. Cowboys fans burned jerseys online. Social media exploded with memes of Jerry sabotaging his own team. But maybe the ugliest part of this whole mess is what could have been. If Jerry Jones had just paid his stars earlier, none of this would have happened. If he had extended Dak when the market was lower, he would have saved $49 million. If he had extended Lamb on time, he would have saved $14 million. If he had extended Parsons just last year, he would have saved another $36 million. That's nearly $100 million wasted, money that could have built a championship roster. Instead, Jerry waited. Negotiations dragged on. Egos clashed. And now, Dallas lost their best player for pennies on the dollar. For Micah Parsons, though, this is a win. Yes, he'll pay higher taxes in Wisconsin, but he's still making $30 to $35 million more than he would have in Dallas. More importantly, he's going to a team that's ready to compete right now. A team that has the depth, the quarterback, and the coaching to actually chase a ring. Parsons gets generational wealth and a chance at the Lombardi Trophy. Dallas gets cap space. So what does this mean for the Cowboys' future? Optimists say it's addition by subtraction. That without Parsons, Dallas can focus on balance. They can draft multiple impact players with those first-round picks. They can finally fix the run defense with Kenny Clark anchoring the line. Pessimists say it's over. The defense ranked 28th last season with Parsons. Now they're asking guys like Dante Fowler Jr. and Sam Williams to fill the void. Good luck with that. This defense is going to be a weekly fantasy football target for opposing quarterbacks. There's also a wild theory floating around that Jerry Jones is playing 4D chess, that he's purposely tanking to position the Cowboys for Arch Manning in 2026 or 2027. Former Cowboys star Des Bryant even tweeted, "Arch Manning will have a star on his helmet." It sounds insane, but Jerry is 82 years old. He's obsessed with legacy, and he's made crazier decisions before. Still, tanking in the NFL rarely works. The Jaguars tanked for Trevor Lawrence, and that hasn't gone as planned. The Panthers traded up for Bryce Young, and the QB taken after him looks better. History says tanking is a gamble, and it almost never pays off. At the end of the day, this trade makes perfect sense for Green Bay. They're contenders now. They have the roster, the cap flexibility, and the window. For Dallas, it's a nightmare of their own making. They mismanaged contracts. They dragged their feet. They let egos dictate decisions. And now they're left without their best player, clinging to hope that 2 late draft picks will somehow save them. The real tragedy isn't that Dallas traded Micah Parsons. The tragedy is that they had to, because of years of incompetence, because of poor planning, because Jerry Jones cared more about headlines than trophies. So what will history remember? Will this be the Charles Haley trade of the 2020s, where Dallas turned one painful decision into a dynasty? Or will it be the Herschel Walker trade in reverse, where the Cowboys gifted another franchise the missing piece to a championship run? One thing's for sure. The Cowboys chose the future. The Packers chose the present. And only time will tell which one of them chose wisely.